Hello everyone, this is the basic course of Fixed Maintenance College. I hope you can get more new and important knowledge from each lesson of this basic course. Okay, now I'll teach you some basic motherboard repair materials and what they can do. This is tweezers. As you can see that one tweezers is straight, another one is curved. These two are entry-level tweezers. The material is hard, not easy to damage, mostly used for motherboard chip disassembly. This is the second tweezers. The material of this tweezer is ceramic, so it is anti-magnetic. The tip of the tweezers is hard, sharp and thick enough, so it can be used for disassembly and assembly of motherboard chips and jumper. This is the third type of tweezers. This is high-level repair tweezers. It is more precise, sharper, easier to disassemble and assemble chips and jumper, but it is easy to break. Next, I will introduce you the blade. Here are two blade sets. Part of the chip is need to be pried off with a blade, and the chip pad processing, edge glue and other places need to use a blade. You will see which blade is used for which step in later lesson. The one on the left is SS101C, which is an advanced switch for mobile phone repair, scraper, sickle blade. On the right is the medium level repair blade, RL101B. This set had 8 blades, and they all are commonly used. This is clean room, which is a dust-free cloth. And this thing we need to use in every repair cleaning work. Because the motherboard repair is sophisticated, if there are small dirt or foreign objects under the chip, it will affect the connection between the chip and motherboard, resulting in abnormal function controlled by the chip. And this material is better than the tissue. Okay, this is next one. This is flux paste, which is used to soldering. This is one of the most important materials for motherboard repair, because it can help with soldering. The conditions for choosing such products are that the flux should be clear, good weldability, less smoke, and not heavy smell. So we recommend using this model. You can also use it with a syringe to make the place where flux is added more accurate. And this is PCB holder, which is used to clamp the motherboard so that it will not move during maintenance. This one supports iPhone 5X to iPhone XR. You can find other PCB holder with higher versions online. This is PCB water, which is used to clean the PCB board. When we handle the motherboard may have flux and glue or other foreign matter. We need to use PCB water to clean the motherboard. When the phone gets water damage, we also need to use it for cleaning. The next one is revolve stencil, which is used to revolve. Because when we remove the chip, the thin ball of the chip have been deformed or shift. So we need to let the thin point of the chip back to thin ball. And this is 2D stencil, and in the market also have 3D stencil. You can check online to see if it is suitable for you. The materials used in our courses are cost effective. You can find other brands and models online. And the Revolve BJ stencil has many categories for different mobile phones models. You need to pay attention when buying. And this is soldering wick, which is used to clean the tin. It can absorb tin, then it will become silvery white. We need to cut off the discolored ones before continuing to use. When we remove the chips, the pad also have thin point and glue. We need to clean them and let it be flat. Otherwise, in the pad, some place upper, some place lower. And the thin point of the chips cannot connect all pins of pad well. And that chip function will not work. Okay, this is thin paste, which is used to microsoldering. This melting point of this thin paste is about 180 degrees. In the market also have the 138 degrees thin paste. And the original tin in the motherboard, the melting point is more higher. So when we handle the board, we need to add those lower melting point tin paste, so that it can more easy to clean the original tin. And we also use it for revolve the chip. Thin wire and thin paste, the difference is status. One is solid and the other is liquid. They act in different places. You will see it in the following lessons. And this thin wire melting point also is 180 degrees. And there are kinds of jumper wire. Their thickness is different, and some are insulated and some are non-insulated. Insulated wires are used from jumper between two pins, and non-insulated wires generally used for jumpers at solder points which is missing. This is rosin. It is like solid flux paste, but it is solid and it will be smoked after heating, and has good viscosity. This is also suitable for welding. These are cutting pliers. It is mostly used to cut off the shield and soldering wick. This is also a common basic tool. And this is UV light, which is used to let the UV paste faster curing. Next, we will see UV paste. As you can see, it has many colors, but generally we just use green. So some people will call it green oil. The UV paste is used to insulate part of the circuit or solder joint. Because two lines contact will cause a short circuit, so we need to use the UV paste to insulate it. Okay, the introduction of the basic materials is over. Continue our lesson today. Let's demonstrate today how to handle the chip. There are also the materials, tools and details needed in this process. In daily maintenance, we will repair chips of different sizes. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and some are in the middle size. There are two types of chips. One is packaged chips and the other is unpackaged chips. The packaged chip is glued and needs to be cleaned the glue before removing. Next, deal with this chip with glue. First, we use this curved blade. Then the air gun use 270 degrees, wind speed 45, and then remove the glue. When the temperature reaches and you can cut the glue easy, do not keep blowing the motherboard, otherwise it will cause other components to fall off. Use a 6mm air nozzle. When you can easily move the glue, don't blow the motherboard. If you keep blowing at it, it will easily cause the components nearby to fall off, causing some trouble. When we use this curved blade, we only need to remove the glue. We don't need to keep cutting deeply. In this process, do not cut too deep with a curved blade, otherwise it will cut the traces of the underlying board. Don't use the air gun to blow when you can cut the glue easy. Blow a little seconds. You can move out the gun when you can cut it. Don't use too much force, or it will cut the pad underneath. A situation like this will cause disconnection lines. You don't need to keep cutting, just cut the glue. Already cut off. Why we need to cut off this glue? Because these glue are connected to other small components. If the glue is not cut, when you remove the chip with glue, the glue will connect these small components drop together. So the first step is to process the edge glue when you handle the IC with glue. Okay, now the edge glue has been cut. Remove the NAND in this next step. Because this chip is relatively large, we use a large nozzle. Replace 8mm nozzle. Airgun temperature 360. Use this pry blade. You can insert it from the side and pry it like this. Use the prying method directly. This blade has size. Now disassemble the NAND. Hit the NAND first. Every place around has to be heated and blown. You can see that there is tin already coming out here, soldering flux coming out. Proof that it is about to fall. We can try to pry it. You can see that it has been pried. See how the blade moves, how the hand moves. It can be rotated continuously. Okay, the NAND is removed like this. In the process of dismantling, we can hold it in this position, and the blade will keep spinning. When the temperature reaches the melting point of tin, this blade can pry the NAND up, because the glue is processed so that the sides are not connected together. So this component will not fall off. Next, we process the black glue on the pad. We say that the tool used is this curved blade. When dealing with this kind of pad, because the tin point is high temperature tin, we want to replace high temperature tin with low temperature tin for operation. Okay, let's change tin now. Then use 180 degree low temperature tin wire. The soldering iron is 350 degrees. We now replace the original 220 degrees high temperature tin with low temperature tin. And now we start to change it directly. You can add some soldering flux when it cannot be dragged. Don't need a lot of flux, just add a little bit is enough. Start to clean. Let every tin point get this low temperature tin. Otherwise, the melting temperature of tin is too high to blow.